Hello there. Welcome to Project Fire Fist, the channel that I'm doing documentation and informational resource on for my personal project called Fire Fist, which is a cool name for my original character Mandalorian kit that I want to produce. Welcome to the journey with me. I'm looking at a early acquisition here on my table. These are boots. These boots are new. They just came out of their box the night prior, still has a sticker on the bottom. And these will be the boots from a Mandalorian kit. I want to kind of document them, go over them, get some information, and talk about what I will be doing or trying to do for these boots. These are from Skechers. I think they're called Relax Fit Dortons or something weird like that. I'll have the name and the link to where I purchased mine on Amazon if you wish to make a purchase or check it out more so yourself. They come in brown, dark brown, and black. And this isn't the only boot style like this out there, I'm sure. It's just the one I came across. Now, full disclosure about this boot, it is a, I believe, 100% leather boot, like genuine leather and in its construction. I say that because some people aren't keen on leather products. That's fine if you're not. Totally cool. I don't mind it at all. That's why, I didn't even really think about it until after I purchased it to see what it was made out of. So, with that said, if you're not into leather products and rather have false leather or whatever else, you're going to need to look elsewhere for a design like this. I'm sure you'll find it. So having said that, these boots fit. I did try them on and do a little bit of walking around the house with them just to kind of get a feel to talk about it here, give information and document it. These fit, I think, true to size. They don't feel narrow, they don't feel short. They feel pretty true to size, which is pretty neat. Being leather, they do need to break in to get even more comfortable. They were pretty comfortable on. The only thing that might be a point of discomfort in the future that I might need to address with some extra padding is up here on this ridge. When you walk and flex the boot, it doesn't really flex around your foot much. Up here, it kind of presses into it. I think that might be part because it's new, might be part because of the construction design. Whatever the case is, that could become a discomfort point. So I'm going to see by breaking it in, and then I'll worry about adding extra cushioning or whatever. But outside of that, I don't really, thus far, have any concerns about the boot. It seems like a pretty well done boot. Right out the box, its minimalistic design is pretty nice. I like it. It does feel to me when you look at it. Let's get this boot out of the way. It looks rather Star Warsy to me, if I'm being honest. Which, of course, is a bonus because that's kind of the point here, right? We're making a Mandalorian suit over time. So being Star Warsy is definitely going to fit the bill. There are things I have to do to this boot. It's not perfect right out the box. And I have to do these things specifically because I'm seeking to get my costume approved by the Mandalorian Mercs Costuming Club. I bring it up only so you know exactly why I am tackling what I'm tackling and doing what I'm doing. Everybody has different opinions on costuming clubs, and there are different clubs out there. Whatever the case is, if you're looking to join one, there are going to be requirements. You have to go above and beyond, basically, to really make the suit feel like if it was dropped into the Star Wars universe on camera, it would fit right in. That's the basic idea, really. So there are extra things I got to do to these boots for that. However, what is nice is right out the gate, no zippers, no laces, no clasps or anything. Buckles I think work, but it doesn't even have that. It's just a little stretchy, so there's no closure system. You just put the boot on. That is great because it's a unspoken of but accepted thing amongst the fandom that when it comes to footwear in Star Wars, as silly as this sounds to say out loud, there really aren't any laces or zippers shown. If they're there, they're hidden, right? So if you had that on your boot of choice, you need to put spats over it or something else to cover it, which is not a big deal, but a little extra work. So right out the box, not having that, and I'm sure other boots do similarly, is fantastic. It's going to be real nice. It's more than half the battle kind of taken care of there. But it's a name brand company, Skechers, making a boot, which means branding, logos. Luckily, it's minimalistic. That's one of the things that drew me to this boot when I was doing the early research about boots for Star Wars. And therefore, the modifying I have to do is pretty minimal, all things considered. So let's take a look at this right boot in more detail. As you can see, we have a little bit of leather that says Skechers, but it's a separate leather tab. You can put my finger fully under it. So that is probably part of this seam here, so I'm not going to mess with that. I'm just going to cut it real close very carefully. And over here we're going to cut the stitching, the two stitching here pieces, so this comes off. And it should come off pretty okay. And that will take care of this. Here is the Skechers S, the second thing that's on the boot. Everything else is either on the soles, down here, which is no big deal at all, and then on the back. And that's it. So everything else about the boot is pretty non-marked, nondescript, which is very nice. Anyways, the Skechers S is in the leather itself. Now, I've seen upholstery repair done, not in watching it happen, but I've seen before and after in person of like a leather seat or other leather trim piece in a car being repaired. And it's very well done. I don't know how they do it, because I never watched it happen. I'm going to have to research that to see if it's something I can apply here. I also know that there are people restoring old boots and shoes and whatnot and might do something similar, so I'm going to look into all that to see if there's a way I can just cover up this S. That's one option. Another option is, with some Sintra or whatever else, I could mold a shape to go around the boot, all the way around it, with a little bit extra plating here, and a little bit extra plate in the back, perhaps a little bit, thickening that out, so it conveniently covers the S with extra armor plating for my Mandalorian on his boots. That could also do it. Just make sure it's approvable when I do it. So the leather itself is kind of, I got a plan of attack for. The rubber sole, I haven't really given too much thought to because it's just a rubber sole. I believe I can either fill this in and carefully stipple, sand and stipple it, try to blend it back in and paint it black and mat it down so it just looks a little scuffed up in the back, which will work, and get rid of the lettering. Or I tape it off and I carefully make it into a big rectangle, fill it in with something easy to paint, like a 2-part resin or something, mix it up slightly, get it filled in and smooth, and then paint it an accent color for a pop in the back. That could also work. But there are options, and it's no rubberized sole. I'm less worried about it than the leather. And then the bottom, if that really becomes an issue, just grind it real quick and obscure it, and it's no problem. It's on the bottom. But that's really all I definitely need to take care of. The one thing I don't know about, which anybody can leave information in the comments if you wish, I'm going to ask questions myself about this when the time comes, is about this pull strap here. Great for putting the boot on, clearly. I don't know if it's going to be allowed to stay or not on the boot. I don't know if that's too quote-unquote earthy. So I have to find out. And if it's got to go, it's got to go. We just cut it carefully close to the seams and it shouldn't be a problem. So with that said, as you can see, these boots look rather pristine. Pretty, almost. Nothing, marred or anything on even the soles here, because it literally came out of the box last night. So I gotta break it in. And since they're boots, I'm just gonna wear them, right? No sense in doing any crazy weathering techniques to them when I can just wear them and break them in that way. So while it's my earliest, pretty much, acquisition here, it's going to be one of the last things I end up finishing on this project, because all the while I'm gonna wear it and really break them in and weather them and wear them a little bit, so they feel like they have the miles on them that the rest of the suit does. I'm not looking for a really battered, beaten up look, so it doesn't have to be too weathered here or worn in or anything like that, but I'm looking for it to be seasoned. I'm looking for the boots to go, yep, that Mandalorian's been through some campaigning or whatever else. So, and the armor plating can help that, because I can weather that and damage that up a little bit and kind of keep the boots less so. But one thing I will do when it comes time for it, outside of doing everything I mentioned, is I do have Fuller's Earth. I will put it in some type of like sock or something else that I can beat it up against the boot with and leave some of that Fuller's Earth on there and wipe most of it off, just to help give it the sense that I've been walking through ashland or whatever else. So yeah, plenty of wearing this boot to go. Luckily it's not like a white disco boot of stormtroopers that you're trying to turn to a sandtrooper boot, so I want to get weird looks. It's gonna blend in, so that's always good, and it should be some fun. So far, I have to say, I think this would be a worthwhile purchase in whatever color, brown, dark brown, or black for your bitted kid. Should work out nicely for mine. I originally was going to go with a taller boot, but I don't need to. And the way the armor plating and stuff that I will be using on the leg and shin, it all should work out fine. So with that said, that's all I got for you on this one. What, if you have a Mandalorian kit or whatever kit going on for costuming, what boots did you use? All right, share it in the comments, leave a resource. These are the boots I used. I shared the link should people want to check it out themselves. But there are plenty of options out there, I'm sure. So let's pool the resources a bit. Anyways, if you made it this far, awesome. Hopefully I'll see you again in the next one. And until then, take care.